Okay. Having a lovely look around the city here, as you can see. And yeah, hello everybody, and welcome to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Keep the peace, and we won't have any problem.
Keep the peace. You were
God be with you.
You are interrupting my introduction, sir. I was talking to chat.
Not bad.
Anyway, hello and welcome to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Welcome to the video on demand if you're watching this later, or the live stream if you're watching this right now. And yeah, first of all, thank you so much for for providing us with an early code. I have been playing a lot, however, I've decided to start off today on a bit of an earlier save, very early in fact. This is like the moment right where you unlock the open world, so we can walk around this lovely village here. I'll actually show you Henry himself. We have clothes, but there's not much going on. Hopefully that will change over the course of the stream. But yeah, this is what we're looking like. We have just been dropped into the open world, and I wanted to start a bit earlier in the game as to not give any main story spoilers, because if I'm being honest, the story is absolutely one of the highlights. People who've played the first one will know that. And I don't want to spoil anything about it. I want you to enjoy that for yourself. So I've decided to pick up a bit of an earlier save. I do have a plan, however, because I have already played this. I know where there's some cool things that we want to go and find. So what I actually want to do is I'm going to disable some of the other quests, because I want to go to this combat training guy first to show you guys some of the combat. Hello, everybody. Hello, Brock. Thank you so much for joining.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
Oh, hi. So we can greet people. We can be nice to them, and that will increase our reputation. Where is Jordan? Jordan is currently away at an undisclosed location. He's away in secret. Now, yeah, he's currently traveling, so he won't be here. I'm sorry, you're stuck with me today. I'll try to do a good job. But yeah, the thing there's a lot of things to say about KCD2. A lot of them are very positive. The one thing I will say is I don't know how much the game translates to stream, because there is a lot of, well, this, like just walking around, and the countrysides are lovely. And you'll meet people.
Was that you? Oh,
like this guy. There's clearly something with him.
What happened to you? I'm in big trouble.
Hey Early, thank you so much for asking. I'm doing good. I'm very excited to stream this game today, finally, because I've been playing it for a long time, so now we finally get to show it to all of you people. So he was supposed to deliver a letter.
What was in the letter?
Maybe we can help him with that.
Hear what it said. For one thing, it was a secret.
Yeah, the game is
For another,
awesome.
I can't read, but it was my master's beloved who sent it. That's why it was so important.
Okay, so
Just as easily
he screwed up big time.
I don't really care what was in it. The point is, I don't have it.
I think that might be... I don't know. I've played the first one quite recently to do research for this. I think that might be a bit of rose-tinted glasses, bro, because I feel like this one looks much better than the first one.
Would you like me to help you look for it?
But I haven't, like, put the two side to side.
I've been on the road for 2 days as it is. We'll never
The
make
style
it
is very similar, though, I will say that. I'm new to the KCD world, so I have a question. Fire away. Is the world fiction? Yes and no. There are, like,
Do you know where you might have
historical figures that really existed. There are people that were inspired by historical people that really existed. So, when you put it to what's a really realistic and gritty like game that like covers actual history? If you have that on one, and then on the other side AC, where history was actually written by aliens, which, don't get me wrong, I love AC lore, I think it's really cool. But this falls more on the other end of the spectrum.
Check my bag this morning, all right? But now it's gone, and I'm
It's set in actual what we now know as the Czech Republic. So it's set around a city called Gutenberg, which was the second biggest city at the time, because it had a large
Stuck me in a
silver
hole.
mine, and obviously
I'll say
silver
I
made
was
you rich, so
ambushed
having a
on the
silver
way and they took the
mine
letter.
makes you a very rich city. But yeah, it is the events are like based on what was historically happening at the time. So I can now beat him up and make him be like, hey, we'll fake. This is our little secret. We'll fake that you got beat up. Yeah, sorry for over on YouTube for the confusion. Hi everyone, I'm Dennis. I consider myself a fan of yours, but I've been working for the channel as well for quite a while now. So if sometimes you hear a different voice in the videos, that's probably me. Yeah, sometimes I stream as well, like now when Yor is away. So we could beat him up. We could do a sort of persuasion check, and the icon next to it actually shows you what type of persuasion it is. I want to get a bit more in depth on that later, because this isn't going to work. As you can see, our score is very low. I'm just going to beat him up and help him with this story. See how that goes.
Very well then. Defend yourself.
Have at you, sir.
Or not. It's up to you. You ready?
I am.
Hi. Is he gonna fight back, or is he just... No. Okay, okay, sure. I'm getting tired. Yeah, I can hit. Henry's got a bean hook. He can take quite a lot of punches. I will give him that. Does it have difficulty levels? I think it does. I can just, you know, kill him now or like rob him. Do we? Oh no, he's getting back up. There is a hardcore mode coming later as DLC. I know that. Okay, let's see what he says. Yours traveling manually because he hasn't unlocked fast travel yet. That's accurate. Okay, so are you happy now?
All right.
Oh, that was rough.
This is the new Kingdom Come, though. You might want to watch out with that spelling, Horklum.
Definitely. I'm sore all over.
That man is as red as his tunic.
To be of help then. Take care.
Oh, good to know. So if you're interested in the Twitch drops, because there are Twitch drops available, Joyce, our wonderful editor, just notified me that the drops are working over on Twitch. If you want some extra goodies for in the game, hop over on Twitch. All good, Maracano. I hope those last few symbols are a bit weird. I hope I read that correctly, but all good. You did not appear rude. There's always people asking the question, and at one point...
You're looking for company?
No, we have business to attend to, sir. I'm sorry. But like at one point I feel like I don't need to explain it every single time, because then every video would have like 20 seconds of me explaining who I am. But there are still people who don't know. That's all good. I will adjust the game volume. You want it to be higher, I take it, Vedant? I'll turn it up a little bit. So we're actually heading in this direction. Are we being followed by somebody? You see the little hair underneath the compass? That's showing you that someone's looking for you, but I don't know who they are. I'll just keep running in this direction now. What does this bar below tell beside the HP? So you have different items that you have equipped. So you can see on the left side is like what I have for a weapon, and I can use it to draw a weapon. You also, well, I don't have one currently because this is early, but you can have pouches that you can slot consumables in, which will be on the right side. But since I don't have a pouch, there's a lock right there currently. And then the red is your health and the yellow is your stamina. That's basically what that means. Yeah, I'll turn the game audio up a little bit. I need to be careful with this because it's audio is quite sensitive. So let me know how this is, and we'll thank you for moving, Cow, for the audio check. The cow was actually assisting. Paid actor. But let me know how the audio is now, and if you should change it any further. Also, real one, lovely question, thank you so much. There's a very easy way to tell if someone's being paid by a company, which is a fun thing that not a lot of people know, but you are legally required to list that, if that's the case. So if we're not saying a video is sponsored, the video is not sponsored. It's really that simple. What about the yellow circle? Oh, the yellow circle is because my armor's broken. So Sir.
You may say that God created Adam and all men in his image, so they can't be all that bad.
Can I talk to you?
But that's just what they want you to think. They're the ones claiming it's in scripture. Who knows what's really in it?
This is on PS5 Pro.
And if only lying was the worst of it. But you know full well they steal and kill.
This is one of the cool things, so I can't. Okay. He's going on a bit of a rant here. He's like, he would be excellent on Twitter if he knew what that was. Where is your horse? I haven't gotten a horse yet. Like I said, I've chosen a very early save to show you some early things because I don't want to spoil anything. No, real one, that's what I'm saying. You cannot. You are legally required. Otherwise, what you're doing is illegal. How does it look on the Pro? Like this. You are looking at PS5 Pro footage. So this is what the game looks like on the PS5 Pro. Yeah, it looks really beautiful. It's like, some people, they said it about the first game as well, but it's like, it's just a walking simulator, because it's not combat all of the time. It's not like AC, where the roads are ridden with like creatures for you to fight. But like, if you're walking through environments that look like this, I don't mind it taking a little bit longer, and I don't mind going a little bit slower, you know? We are getting closer to the objective though, so don't worry. Thank you so much, spoiler free. I will take the compliment for Yor, but I will also pass it along to Yor when he gets back. But yeah, one of the things I really like what you saw with that priest is that, true to the times, religion is a really big thing in this world. So there are quests that also play into like superstitions, where there's one where people are like, they're lowering a bucket of food. Oh, we're gonna get into a fight. I don't know if this is gonna go over well, because my equipment is terrible. Yeah, we'll try to. So what you see now, this HUD element, is basically showing which direction I will strike from when I choose to strike. So if I want to stab him, I go for the middle. If I want to swing at him from like the sides or from the top, I will switch to that. I do want to make sure to... Oh, see, there we go. I can't take hits very well because my armor's terrible. And broken. Oh, you can't. You are dead. Okay, that's one. But we're gonna die to the second one, I think. Yeah, I'm really not doing too hot. But maybe we can get him. One-on-one is like, relatively speaking... No, we died. Relatively speaking, they're the easier fights. Which is why I wanted to maneuver the other guy in between him and me. You can block hits. You can actually... You see the shield icon, and if you press a hit, then it will count as a perfect block. Which means that you can immediately follow up with a riposte. But riposte is not an automatic hit. There is a way to get like an automatic hit in. Oh, we are set all the way back. Do we even... No, I don't even have my clothes on. Let me equip something. So yeah, if you don't like setbacks, either make sure you have a lot of saving potions or don't die. Because you can run into some pretty major setbacks. We're just gonna run back again and see how that goes. At least now I'm prepared that we might get ambushed. There is also fast travel in this game, although you need to, of course, visit the location first to unlock it. And it'll basically show a little, like, replica chess piece of Henry walking across the map. It's really cute. In fact, the map is just... Can we just appreciate this? Yeah, this came out today, so I've been able to play early, again, thanks to an early code from PlayOn. But it's available for everyone now. And yeah, my early experience with it after playing for over 50 hours has been really, really positive. It's a very big game. I am nowhere near close to finishing it, let alone all of the side content that I can still do. And yeah, if you're not looking for something that's like super combat heavy, because that it's certainly not, at least not in the early parts. If you want to enjoy something a bit slower paced with some more interesting mechanics to learn, to like side content, like alchemy and blacksmithing are some really cool things that I want to try and show you later as well. But I need to stop dying first. But yeah, if you want to, you know, delve into a very deep and satisfying RPG with, again, a really, really incredible story. I really love the characters and the story and the twists it takes. Oh, hello. We get into another fight now, but this time with wolves. Wolves are a bit more manageable if we can get out, because I want to see them. There we go. We draw a weapon. So it's actually funny how fighting animals is very different from fighting people, because what we want to do is we want to wait for them to run at us and then immediately block and parry. Because they run away way too fast for our attacks, so running after them and trying to hit them, basically no point. This, however, as you can see, works really well. Come on. You can also see we only have a couple of directions to swing from, whereas with human enemies you have multiple. Okay, they are starting to bleed. This is good. Also need to watch my stamina. Because if you run out of stamina when you're outnumbered, you can't run away. Which is generally not a good thing. Where are they? It's just this one? Or are they just gonna run away at some point? Because enemies can just run away if they feel like they're not going to win the fight. Like that. So I think we're good now. There we go. A video for Civilization 7. Highly unlikely. I'm sorry. I have played a fair bit of Civ 5, so I personally enjoy the game and I know there's a big fan base for it, but considering what we usually cover on the channel, highly unlikely. And also there's so much stuff coming out. When is Civ 7 coming out? Okay, I want to make it to the guy, because the guy can show us some cool sword combat tricks. I can hear more wolves, which I don't like. They're just gonna keep on running. Is there PvP? No, because this is a single player RPG. So there are no other players, it's just you. The fight looks a little bit weird. Yeah, the fighting against animals is not my favorite. Fighting against human enemies is really fun and engaging. And it actually becomes even more fun when you unlock a combat technique that we're working on a video right now. We hope to have it ready by tomorrow. But there's a special combat technique that's like, it's blocking and countering in one move. People who played the first one might remember it, but it works a bit different now and it's really fun. But that, like, opened up a world of possibilities in combat for me. It's like, okay, now it's clicking, now I get it. So can we just... Is it safe to go down here? Oh, it is. It's just a path. I'm stupid. Because, like, injuries and stuff are also a real thing. You can fall and, like, sprain your ankle or break something, which will then limit your carrying capacity. So you don't want that. As you can see, this is a spot with a lot of boars. So if you'd want to, I don't know, hunt for food. Because we could have skinned the wolves as well. For like materials and stuff. And obviously hunting down boars gives you even more resource. You can also pick up various plants. You can use them in alchemy. It's like every system there is in this game has like so much depth to it. And I feel like I can take the entire stream like just explaining alchemy and where to get your materials and stuff like that. So as I said in the preview, it really takes some effort from you to like understand how things work. Oh, actually, I messed up. I want to go over that bridge. We're going to take a little detour. And maybe we'll run into some more fun things along the way. Can you see your body when you look down? You absolutely can. And you will also like see the clothes you're wearing. There is also a photo mode. Although it's very bare bones. And Henry's not looking too well right now. Interesting indeed. You'll also see your character in third person in a lot of conversations. So I've seen, I also saw someone else mention, like, it's a shame there's no third person. For the combat, it really makes sense, because that really only works in first person, I feel. Although, that being said, I think the closest thing you can find is For Honor, and that is third person, so what do I know? But, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, you do get to see your character a lot. Which includes, like, the awesome armors you've collected and stuff like that. So it's not like you are completely stuck in first person and never see your armor. Is the map the same as the first game? No, it is much bigger. There are, in fact, 2 maps. You start in one, and that already feels pretty big. Also because you're walking through most of it until you unlock a horse. So that naturally makes things feel bigger. But after you've unlocked that, or not unlock that, there's a quest that leads you to a second part of the map. You can still freely travel between both parts, travel back, but there are 2 maps, and neither of them are the same as the map from KCD1. The second one's really impressive. In fact, if we manage to get the things done that I want on stream, we will, I will, or we can do that anyway, depending on where we are at the time. But I want to show you the city, the big city I talked about, Gutenberg. Because I have a save where you can like easily travel through that and like give you a tour of the city. Yeah, it really feels like you are part of the world, including... It has the thing that like Red Dead had as well, where like if you pick up an item, you actually physically see your character picking it up. And again, it includes also showing all the armors you're wearing. Okay, we are finally getting close to where I want to be. I'm sorry for the deaf setting is back. Anyone else having audio is like popping and crackling on the PS5 Pro? Yes, so if you're hearing that on stream, that is, I don't know if that's just a problem with the console version, but I've been experiencing that as well. I have not heard many other people about it, so maybe it is a me problem. I don't feel like fighting the wild dogs, I just want to... Oh, the wild dogs do feel like fighting me, don't they? And Henry can't swim. Yeah, this might not have been the best idea. And by not the best idea, I mean I might actually... We might die again. If that happens, we'll go somewhere else. I can't even see them right now. This was a terrible idea. Yep. Okay, we're gonna do something else. Let's try again. I wonder where will set me back. Hey Skata, thank you for joining. Just do fast travel. I have not unlocked anything of the map on this save yet. There is a dedicated jump button. Look, I can jump as much as I want to. It also helps you mantle onto stuff. So yes, that is there. You should steal a horse. I mean, I could. But the thing I want to do now is over here. It's a little bit closer. The roads are a little bit safer. But we can still try and steal a horse. We'll do it for Steve. Steve wants us to steal a horse, we'll steal a horse. This is probably going to go bad, but let's try it anyway. We want to make sure I'm picking a good one then. Can I inspect their stats? I want one with a lot of speed because we're going to be running away. Or I'll do all of them at 39. No, you are even slower. We'll just go with the first one. I like the colors on that one. Arkham Knight. Should I start with part 1 before I buy this? I would recommend so. If only... I know about this. Yeah, we're getting out of here. See you later. I hope no one saw that. In fact, I think no one saw that. Grand Theft Horse, everyone. But the reason why I would recommend so, not so much because of the gameplay. I feel like there's a learning curve anyway, and 2 might actually be a bit easier to pick up than the first one. But you will miss a lot of the story and the context of the characters. And while it's definitely possible to get into 2 first, like it doesn't take long before you get engaged, you will miss on a lot of context. And for instance, the friendship between Hans and Henry, the characters who you start out with, you won't know a lot of that information. So either find a story recap. I think Warhorse themselves uploaded the story recap pretty recently. And watch that, or if you're feeling like it anyway, play the first game. But if you want to jump in at 2, you definitely can.
Quick!
No, you can't play it in third person, but things like cutscenes will be in third person. In fact, we're gonna talk to someone right now. And then I'll show you a fun activity we can do. No, I don't want to wait. So this guy is part of the main quest.
No, I just...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good morning, lad.
Oh, I forgot I'm not wearing any clothes because I died. So we are here butt naked asking him for work.
You could use a helping hand at the forge.
I could. My last 2 hands, well, they're not worth mentioning.
I will show you the map on a later save because it's bigger.
What do they call you?
Henry.
I'm Radovan.
Because I haven't unlocked much of the map yet.
Have you done it before?
Yeah. I basically grew up in the forge.
So Henry
My father
was originally a blacksmith's son.
He even forged
So he
swords
knows
for the nobility.
blacksmithing. So when the guy asks him, hey, do you know how to smith? He's not bluffing, he actually knows how to do his stuff. And blacksmith is actually kind of a fun minigame. So we have to prove ourselves to him by forging a sword.
So you'll take me on?
Hold your horses. I'll have to try you out first. You could forge me a hunting sword as a test, so I can see if you can make a straight blade. That shouldn't give you much trouble if your father was a swordsmith, should it?
I understand first-person traumas. I just do think some games work better in first person and some in third. I can definitely see the case for this one being first person, because I feel it's a very, very immersive experience. Again, it shares many similarities with Red Dead in that regard, I feel. And it does help that you're experiencing some of that from, like, what your own point of view would be, if that makes sense. I will... Okay, so for who wanted to see the map, this is the first region, and it's already, like, maybe you can see in relation to where the city is, how far you can zoom. It's already pretty big, and there are 2 of these, and the second one is bigger. So you'll get quite a lot of the game for your buck, I will say that. But I wanted to grab a hunting sword, grab a torch, put on some clothes. Are we hungry? No, we are not. Okay, we need to grab the materials. So we have some scrap metal and some steel. And then we'll just go to the anvil and say, start blacksmithing. So we now only have 1 recipe, but you can actually make multiple sorts of weapons, armor, and the cool thing is there's actually a perk you can unlock, because pretty much everything you do has a skill tree attached to it. there's a perk you can unlock that makes you such a good blacksmith that like your items are considered the highest tier in the game. So if you want the best type of weapons, you have to make them yourself because you are that skilled at being a blacksmith. Which again, for Henry makes sense because he is a blacksmith son. Or well, go play the first game. So what we're doing now is we're heating the metal so we can move the stick around to heat it. But we of course want to blow fire into it, or air into it to get the fire going, to heat it up quicker. And you will see that the metal slowly starts changing the color. That's what we're looking for. Let's draw a color so we can inspect it. Feel like that's pretty good. I did just check it. And now we get to hammer it. And just like an actual sword or sword making, we need to move the piece. And if we keep hitting it at the same spot, you'll see there are no sparks. No sparks means we're not doing anything. So we want to strike and move the piece. Strike and move the piece. Strike and move the piece. And then as long as the sparks are flying off, we're working towards this baby becoming an actual sword. And you'll slowly see that the thing becomes shaped more like a sword as well. Also, this does cost endurance, so you do need to keep your endurance in check. This is not the same creators who made Dragon's Dogma. Dragon's Dogma was made by a Capcom team. This is from Warhorse Studios, who, apart from the first KCD, I don't know if they did something before that and what it is. Is the game good on PS5? I've been playing it on PS5 Pro, and I've really enjoyed the experience. So of course we want to hit the other side as well, because, you know, a blade has two sides. Very important. And we just keep smashing away at it.
Nice. Now try forging it on both sides.
Now, this
closer it is to being finished, the more
process is very simple because it's a straight blade. But there are other shapes like horseshoes.
Move it. You're standing there like a fence post. You call this
forging a horseshoe is much more tricky because it has like a weird shape and you can actually miss your strikes, so you kind of have to aim them.
You can't do it all in one go.
Yeah, okay.
You gotta put it back in the furnace.
So we gotta reheat it.
Sometimes you gotta go there and back all day.
I've played the first game, it's definitely a series I want to get into. Yeah, I mean, I have already decided that I'm going back to play the first game when it's not crazy busy anymore. Because of course now we have this, and then there's Avowed, Monster Hunter, AC Shadows coming out. But I am absolutely going back to play the first game and like experience the full story. I absolutely love this game. Also still need to finish this one, so maybe I'll save that when I've actually played the first one. But absolutely recommend getting into the series. It's such a unique type of experience that... Yeah, I really like that when people make something they are passionate about. And it's like... There are some elements you can compare to other games. Like, sure, it's an open world RPG. Sure, it's a bit more realistic and gritty. It has some survival elements. We finished the blade, by the way, so now we can quench it and then it's done. But overall, as a whole package, I don't think there are many things that are comparable to it. And I think that's really cool. And there we go. So now we've made a sword, and hopefully proven ourselves to him.
Very nice work. Your father taught you the trade well.
I am going to skip
If you carry on hammering as well as you did
a
today,
bit ahead
you've definitely got a
in
job here.
the conversations
It's all about
now,
that's why you, if you work
because
that,
I want to get to a certain point in the
Thanks.
you
in the
can
quest.
Send, of course, any question?
What now?
What do you think? You're pretty good, right? Here us. You can get
Just like that?
sacrilege. You take once you make.
So I want to continue with the quest.
It's about
Do you want?
just so.
Have you?
There's only, but I've got.
Have you any?
Because this
idea?
will lead us on like a cool little
Those times, I
adventure
don't think
Were they?
no.
with some more cool people.
There was and some. There's a good.
So I want to get to that point.
Right.
Go ahead.
Gladly.
Apologies for skipping the dialogue. And now we have a new objective. Do we still have our stolen horse? I would not think so. Shall we steal another one? Also, fair note, you should not think of crime lightly. There are some consequences that are not funny, so you want to be careful of those. How far is Semin anyway? Okay, Semin is a little bit away, and we are better off fast traveling back to Troskovit. So, I will now show you what fast travel looks like. And then there is a chance that on the way somewhere, there's like a roadside event, like an ambush or something, that you can run into. But yeah, for now we're gonna run into a new town. Do you have to constantly eat and drink? No, not constantly. You do have to eat and drink. So as you can see in the bottom right of the stats beneath me here, you'll see nourishment. That is your food level. As long as that's between 50 and 100, you're good. Otherwise, it will negatively impact your stats. But you find a lot of food on enemies, and there's also a lot you can do to preserve food. We actually mentioned that in our mistakes video as well, but you can preserve food to make sure it doesn't go over an expiration date, or that it restores even more nourishment. So while it is something you need to pay attention to, it doesn't feel like a survival game, because I don't enjoy that in games either. And it doesn't feel like you're constantly being, oh, I have to eat, oh, I have to scavenge for food. It's just something that you need to do in order to make sure that you don't get any stat debuffs, but it's not constantly on your mind. We need more games like this time period. There are too many zombie games, too many shooting games. I agree. We need more like proper, not even fantasy, but just medieval stuff.
What say you have a drink with us?
Want to have a drink
I'll be
with
with
them?
you.
We could if we want to.
I'll be glad to have a drink with you, fellows.
That's precisely what young Petsker and me are doing here. We like to roll dice too.
Or you can also play a game
More
of
than happy
dice
to play
with them.
you.
See, this is
First,
what I
I
mean with
need
the
to
Red
know
Dead
who you
comparison.
are.
There's like
No
so many
worries
cool
there.
roadside
Above.
events
Me and
that you
Petsker
can
here are
do
just
with
honest
just
to
talking
goodness
to people and
labourers.
meeting them. Yeah,
You smell of horse sweat. Yet I see no horses.
they're horse thieves,
Look,
aren't they?
No disrespect. We may not be labourers, true, but we're no
Okay, that was
crooks
quick.
neither. In short, we look for horses. For a very well-heeled mistress. But only strays, that's all.
So, horse traders for hire.
Yeah, something like that.
Horse traders for
But we're pretty
hire.
bored right
Okay,
now. We're at
then.
a loose end.
I think I'll be going now, lads. Goodbye.
God be with you and travel safe.
Can I play dice with them? Because the dice game is actually kind of funny. But he said he was playing dice with his friends, right? Where is his friend? Oh, well. Oh, there he is. He is also drinking. Not what I wanted to show you. I want to head to a neighboring town. There's also the fact that, so you have like many different stats you can level up. And so this is what I meant, like everything you do has like a skill attached to it. There's a, where is it? Speech. You literally increase speechcraft by just talking to people. And then you unlock more persuasion options and stuff like, can I steal? No, I can't steal you, unfortunately. How you pull out the torch. If you have a torch equipped, you hold down on the D-pad if you're playing with a controller. If you're playing on PC, I can't help you, I'm afraid. But you need to make sure you have it equipped. It doesn't take up a weapon slot. I think it's a separate slot, and then you hold down on the D-pad, and then it will pull out the torch. Okay, we can see the castle there in the distance. That's where we're headed towards. So fear not. And this way we get to enjoy more of the beautiful, beautiful countryside. It's also funny how, because you have to walk so much in like the opening hours, even though you can get a horse relatively quickly, you appreciate it so much more because of how slow walking is. What D-pad left is for short and right is for pouch. Yeah, and then down, holding it, not pressing it, holding it, that should pull out the torch. Vasi. I hope that helps. And Nathan, should I play the first game or skip to this? You can do both. If you have the patience, I recommend playing the first game first, because you will get a lot of extra story and context for a couple of the main characters. But gameplay-wise, I think the second one is easier to get into. And I get like new stuff as exciting, so you want to get into that immediately. You can also watch a story recap and skip the first one, yeah. But if you want to experience the story fully, which I would recommend because the story is really good, I would say play the first one and then go for the second one. Okay, here we go.
So I says to him, "No, father, I haven't been fornicating. I've just been loving my neighbour."
Hey! You alright there, laddie?
Oh, you should have seen him. He went as red as a cardinal's hat. Aye. Hey, servant, bring some wine.
Tea time, no. I would not say it plays similar to Skyrim.
No, I'm not a servant.
Oh, I know. Old Serene is saving supplies for the wedding later. But you didn't need to bother your wee head about that.
Look, I'm not from here.
Aboot?
Oh,
You're not from Canada, are you?
I didn't give a fuck what you free.
Can you
our
speak
language, you
English,
know.
sir? I didn't give a fuck where you're from.
Well, Yarko, seems to me this fella doesn't know how to behave toward his betters.
The old man's hired hands are lacking in manners. We'll see.
So I think we can see where this is going, right?
I'll kill you.
Okay. I don't want to surrender. I want to win. How's that for you? Oh, that's... So the red shield means it's unblockable. So you can dodge as well. And some attacks should definitely be dodged. But we hit him with a good combo there. And a kick. Come on, why aren't you hitting me back? You want to lose? Again, we need to be a little bit careful of our stamina. And of course, there's also a skill tree for unarmed combat, which we're improving in right now. How to dodge, the tutorial is lacking. Press circle or B if you're playing on Xbox. Oh, see, there we go. That was a good dodge. And now we get to strike him. He's starting to look a little bit more tired. You can see, like, in his posture, he's lowering his arms. So, we're doing good. And we won. There we go. Hey, Timon, good to have you on stream. Don't mess with the ill-made.
What do you think's going on, Grandad? I'm teaching your people here.
But yeah, as you see, the combat is very different from Skyrim, to whoever asked that.
Why, Grandad? An old captain like you probably still remember the foot.
True enough, Yurko. I am old. And I remember all sorts of things. Like you. When you were a little nipper running around here bare arse, with a ribbon in your hair, screaming out how you was Princess Sophie. Poor lad.
Oh, we already
At a
kicked him in the
moment's
nuts.
peace
Like, he's
with
done
big
for.
sisters.
What about that line?
Who in God's name are you?
Henry. The Taco
Garbage
blacksmith
combat. I do want to stress this is unarmed combat very early on, so you have like very limited options.
You
Combat
asked
gets
me
much
slaves.
better when you start
Come along and never mind that
unlocking
fool
more
you.
stuff, and combat with
Young
weapons
Samin's
already
getting
looks
married,
much
so
better, I
we
think.
has to put up with his kin from Moravia.
So yeah, after beating up someone, we
We
accidentally
needed
made a
dozen
new
pigs.
friend.
And I must tell Vashek to get 3 pigs ready for slaughter. And the carters will have to be sent to Yetchin to get at least a peck of poppy seed for cakes. And gingerbread spices. Oh, and wine, too. It's almost all gone. What we bought
Medieval
only
problems.
last week.
Man's like, I need some fresh air, let me out. Save
Sorry
me!
to intrude, sir. This is Henry, blacksmith Radovan's hand.
Oh, excellent. Dorothy, leave us now.
Dorothy?
Make sure that there's plenty of everything so long as it doesn't cost too much.
But, sir,
Not another word! Leave us! So Radovan sent you alone. Who's going to unload it all? It's a whole cartload.
Yeah, Radovan sent me, sir, but not with the goods. The thing is, he's missing his cart, along with the carter in his hands.
What?
Yeah, so our
never
objective
came
basically
here.
is
Are you
blacksmiths
telling me they got lost?
lost supplies, and we're trying to
Couldn't
get
tell
them
you what
back.
happened to them,
But
sir,
since
but
there is supplies, he
my
actually
job
wants
to
to
find
help
them.
out. So we're
There are
going
all
on
sorts
a
of
journey with
vermin in
Grandpa
the
here.
Oh,
countryside,
no
sir.
need to imagine a worse ride-off, gnarly. Anyway, I need the load from that cart, so saddle up your old nag and we'll ride out, Captain. I could do with a breath of fresh air. I've had it up to the eyeballs with counting geese.
Yeah, he was
and
done.
pies.
He was not
About Henry,
enjoying
sir.
the food
about him?
preparations
We
of the
could use an
wedding.
extra pair of hands. You know how my shoulder's acting up. Yurko is shit-faced. And your son
The older has work to do. All right, take Henry with you if you want. Just so long as he doesn't slow us down.
Thank you, sir. So, lad, you going
So
with
as you see, this is what I meant,
hope
that
you're
there's
happy.
actually quite a lot of third person in the game, and if you're wearing a different outfit, it will reflect that even in the, like, non-dialogue cutscenes.
Yeah. I'll be glad to help you.
Oh, you reckon we can't manage on our own?
You just said I had
No,
to!
that's not how I meant it.
Take it easy, son. I'm only yanking your pizzle.
Also, the
By the
yanking
way,
your pizzle is a
fellas at
saying
the
that's
gate
coming back a
say you
lot,
came here
and
on
I
foot.
think we should
Yeah.
reintroduce it in,
Christ
in
above.
modern language.
And how are you going to ride with us? On the back of my saddle?
Yes!
You're a bit big for that, ain't ya? And I'm a bit too old.
You've got a stud for
Aye.
Again, I'll
Our
skip
group
through
telling
some
you
of the
well.
dialogue,
No.
My
just so we can get to some of the good stuff. Gents, we leaving?
What did I do to you?
You're standing in the doorway, sir. I just want out. So this is just a small little town that you visit. It's called Semi. It does look quite nice, though. I do really like it here. But this is like a smaller town, village, if you will. Now we need to get ourselves a horse, and the problem is that I don't think. Oh, we did get an upgrade in speech. Maybe. Because there is actually a way you can get the horse for free.
The Lord be with you.
Would you have?
Well, but by the look, but all she that old, I was already said he great.
That's my.
What do you mean? I but that so it.
Look,
I heard and the well, so it's maybe I.
Okay.
Go and get her then. If she
Convinced him to give us a free horse. Wonderful. This is on PS5 Pro, yes. And there we go. Now we do... The cool thing about horses is that they have their own inventory. So you can store some of your stuff in the horse's inventory, but also if you have... and I don't know if I have any right now. Yeah. So I have a bridle and a saddle for the horse, so I need to move it to the horse's inventory first. And then I can equip it on the horse. So now the horse actually has a saddle. And now we can meet up with the gentleman in the courtyard, say that we are ready to go.
I'm ready to set out, sir.
All right. Stay close to us and don't go wandering off.
As you say, sir.
So here's our lovely, lovely horse.
Where will we start searching, sir?
And another thing I really like is that there's a follow button for NPCs. So, well, which has a bit of trouble following indoors, apparently. Apart from that, this just allows you to keep up with the pace of the NPCs and follow the same road as they do.
Keep up with us, son. Troskovitz ain't far, but it seems there's fellas vanishing on the way.
Because there's a lot of talking, and I always hate it when they do a lot of conversation in between gameplay,
but I can't help myself.
and you can't make out what they're saying.
Running rampant around here, sir.
But this makes it really easy to follow the conversations while just riding along with them.
I knew this wedding wouldn't be cheap, but I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. And the bailiff, the bride's father, you'd get more blood out of a stone than coin out of him. And then he behaves like I shit golden eggs just because I'm a noble. Even though he's got more coin than me.
Such are the times, sir. But that Yurko, he's going too far.
You know how those Moravians are. It's in his blood.
Aye, I noticed. But they're getting too much to handle. Him and his cronies. They started on young Henry, soon as he set foot on the courtyard.
What? Is that true, Henry?
That's they did actually
With
do
all
that,
due respect, sir, I wouldn't want to offend your relatives.
but
Don't worry,
they
they're my
did
wife's
immediately
relatives.
try and beat us.
I see what you're getting at. So how did this little brawl of yours end up?
Young Henry here gave Yurko a nice...
So another cool thing about these little dialogue options and like conversations in general is that there are a ton of dialogue options that will either improve your reputation with someone or decrease it, and that can help you.
Such a champion.
Like for instance, for merchants, it helps you bargain for better prices. So you want to. Oh, we're gonna
Be an
fight.
honor, sir.
Excellent. Not afraid, eh?
See,
That's what I like to see.
he likes
There's
that,
an
and now we
abandoned
get
pen
a
along the
reputation
path of
increase,
it.
and now he likes us
Stop off
more.
there and see what you're
Which means that
made
should
of.
we ever need
Right,
something
sir.
from him, he
If
is
you'll
more
excuse me,
likely to agree
I'll
to our
explain
demands,
things to the
because he likes
youngster here
us.
first. Wouldn't want no accidents happening.
And like that goes for, there's like a general region attitude as well. In-game sound is low. I'll turn it up a bit more. There's perks that will give you bonuses if you are in a region that really likes you. So there are a ton of benefits to helping out people, because most of the times it's just you do a quest and then you get a reward and then you don't interact with the NPC anymore. But in this game it's more like you're building a relationship with people, you're building a relationship with a town, and that can have all sorts of consequences. Okay, I think this is where the fighting ring's at.
So,
When is the
we're
game
here.
set? Oh, I don't
Now,
remember the
tell
exact
youngster
year.
here
It's
what's
either
what.
early 1400s or early 1500s. So late Middle Ages. We'll keep it at that. Okay.
All right, son. You're going to hold on a mo.
What weapon?
What would you like?
That is a stupid thing to say. We'll go for the sword. We'll go for the sword. Sun Media, I turned up the game audio a little bit. I hope this is better. This is PS5 Pro. I'm pretty sure there is a 60 FPS mode on standard PS5, but I don't know like how much that impacts the resolution.
Thank you, Captain.
As per usual, if you want anything on like the technical side of things, look at Digital Foundry. They made a video on this game, so if you want to know about the specs and stuff, I recommend looking at that.
Are you ready?
Now, the thing about Mr. Jan Semin over here... Oh, that's insane, 110,000 on Steam. That's really good. I am so happy for them. The game is doing well. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't say I was ready!
Come on, then.
Come on, old man. We can taunt him.
You're no match for me. Cut the bullshit and fight.
We can do battle cry. There's actually a skill that improves your damage shortly after doing a battle cry. And I took that one because that means that you're in battle and you're constantly crying like a madman. Because that improves your damage. It was pretty good. 1403, thank you, Brock. Thank you.
I'm no spring chicken, but I'm
and yeah, you have different types of weapons next to swords, but there's one particular reason that I really like swords.
But take care of the old fella.
You do get to keep his club.
Wood, but he saved my arse more than once.
I will, Captain.
There we go. So a nice thing is that because we fought, as you can see, we are still covered in blood. And that can influence some interactions. Now, sometimes it's beneficial to be covered in blood. If you want to intimidate someone, you'll look more intimidating. Nice. But since we're traveling with nobility, I'd say we want to look clean, we want to look dapper. So you can use a trope like this and just wash yourself. And that will clean most of it. However...
Interesting.
If you're... I love the fact that he comments every time you just activate photo mode. It's just assuming that you take a picture. But yeah, there's a bathhouse where you can like get a proper cleanup as well. And you can get your clothes cleaned. But that's another one of those touches where you're like... It's so much added realism, but they also made sure it impacted other gameplay systems. It's not like you look bloody and then you clean yourself up and you no longer look bloody. It's no, you look bloody and if you now try to intimidate someone, you'll have better chances because not only are you a madman covered in armor, you're a madman covered in bloody armor.
Do come, Henry. We've got a nice arena in Samin. It ain't no abandoned pig then.
You can't always choose your battleground, Gnarly. Whether it's a pig pen or an arena in Karlstein. It's the performance that counts. And while we're on the subject, where are you from, lad? It's clear you're not from Trusty.
I'm from Silver Scallops, sir.
Aha! Now I understand why you're here. You're not the first one to flee here from the war.
It's for context, and this happens very early in the first game, but Henry's village of Skalitz was victim of a current ongoing war in Bohemia, which is part of the events that set off like the first game.
There's no helping the dead anyway.
That's nice advice,
but yeah, he doesn't really have a home to go back to. Poor Henry.
Better to go and see a bit of the world. You're doing the right thing.
What now?
Now we're going back to the town where we originally came from. You have a nice weapon there. I want one of those too. To ask for some information. Then we're gonna go into the woods and hunt bandits, which is what I wanted to show you. But yeah, again, look at like I love the variety of like the little towns, because even though it's not like a fantasy game where every like there's a lava city and there's an ice city, but still every one of them is like so much character, and start to know them a little bit better as you visit them more, like knowing where to find certain buildings or like certain people.
So, we're in trouble.
And I'm all
I
right.
will skip past the dialogue again as I mostly want to get to
That's what.
the bandit hunt, and also I don't want to spoil anything for people still looking to play the game, so the subjects of that conversation will remain a bit vague. Now I do have to be careful, because you can... Sometimes you'll open a door and there will be a marker at the top, which means that you will... You are in an area you're not supposed to be. And you can just do that on accident, and if you don't leave
Master Bailiff,
and the guards see you,
can I
you'll
ask
just
you
get
about
arrested.
Ask away, by all means.
Wait now, aren't you that lad?
Yeah.
I heard.
Yeah, that's...
Ah,
You saw... I did. Where were towards... I am...
I'm glad. And I...
That's
That'll be
all. Thank you. So he told us where we need to look. Now we can go back to our friends and continue traveling. Escobar, no, I would not consider it a Skyrim-like game. It's a much
Then, young man,
deeper
how did
RPG,
it go?
They were...
So the thief.
and
Don't you be missing
the
preparations for
combat
bringing
feels
help?
very different. It doesn't have any fantasy elements.
If I have to choose between
It's
riding
much
the
more
Dorothy's endless passing, I'll take Yitchin any time. Besides, it's a nice view
Think Grand Theft Horse, no Grand Theft Auto, Grand Theft
I
Horse,
remember that place, but I'm not
but
sure,
much more
sir,
realism
if they'll
to
let
it.
the two of us set foot inside the door.
Oh, gnarly, that
So it's not like you're supposed to do. You can do crimes for fun and stuff, but it's not like the game actively encourages you to do
True.
that.
Still,
Although some
we
quests
better keep
actually,
our eyes peeled.
there's a surprising
not
amount
be
of quests that will have people coming up to you and you're
Or
like,
something could
do
have
you
happened.
mind
They might have
stealing
been
something
ambushed,
from me?
maybe.
Like I know it's illegal, but if you don't tell, I won't tell, and I kind of really need this. And I'm like, no,
more likely we'll
I'm
find
trying to be a virtuous knight. I'm not
That'd
stealing
surely
stuff.
be the best outcome, if that old dive is still standing. Let's go then.
What are the settings on the PS5? Couldn't play the first game due to the lack of camera settings causing nausea, but have always been drawn to the franchise. So you want to know like the specific camera settings? Can have a quick look at those. So you have subtitles and stuff under game, graphic settings. We have gamma correction, FOV, which goes up to 110. It was at 95. You can change the sharpness, motion blur, and depth of field. So there are some things you can adjust, but not much. This is on PS5 Pro, by the way, so it might be that some settings are different on regular PS5. And again, I want to reiterate, I don't know how much of this translates well to a stream, because usually I kind of plan streams to like show some cool stuff, and it's not a flashy game, but it's moments like this where just like you're riding around and like hearing stories about the world, meeting new people, that really make this game engaging. But it's more fun to play and actually experience it than it is to watch. But like one of my favorite moments was meeting with a group of Cubans who are like mercenaries from Austria, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And people around here don't really like them. However, I decided to stand up for them because they just wanted to eat, and I didn't really see a problem. So I stood up for them, and then they invited me to drink at their camp. And like, that was the quest. I got drunk.
Sack of charcoal.
With a couple of Cubans, and there's obviously more stuff going on there that I don't want to spoil, but the majority of the quest was like me befriending this group and like getting drunk and then walking through the woods completely hammered, because we ran out of drinks, so obviously we needed new drinks, and my friend knew where to steal some, so I went into the woods with him and I couldn't see straight, and I stayed drunk for 2 days after. And that was awesome. And there's so many more moments like that where you are...
Found anything
You
left?
don't know what
There's
you'll
a
find
sack of
yourself
charcoal
into.
lying in the
And
ditch
sometimes you
to the
don't
left
even
of the
get
road.
anything as a reward.
The bailiff said
But
they were
there's
charging like the
always
devil.
like cool new
maybe it
characters,
fell
cool
from the cart.
stories, new
Well, that makes
locations.
sense. To the left it is then. Gnarly! Back here!
We're getting close. I can feel it in my bones,
Okay,
sir.
we are getting
You'll have
there.
the car back in no
So yeah, that also makes exploration really rewarding. Because as you also saw with like that roadside guide, it was like, I lost my message. Can you make it look like someone beat me up? There are many random encounters that you can run into.
You might get to see it soon enough. The
There's
lords
like an
in this
entire
country have
side
all
quest I
gone
accidentally ran into
Every lone
where
lord with a
people
bit of
were
coin builds a house in
lowering
Gutenberg
food into a
while we
mine because
live
they
in
thought
squalor.
they were
Why do you
appeasing a
reckon that
demon.
is, lad?
That's a tough question, sir. But nothing happens on God's green earth without his will. If that's the way God wants it, there's nothing you can do.
None of this would be happening if we had a king.
He's like, I don't care about God, I care
What
about the
makes us
king.
little Sigismund? Oh, anywhere that's not ruled by a strong hand, all sorts of things
Ooh,
go
sir.
wrong.
Especially when you've got
That's
Moravian
kind of a whole
relatives
political
leading you
take
out
these
of
days.
house
You might want to be
and
careful with that. We should be getting close to the bandits now. Similar to last time by look of it, FOV is usually the main issue. Yeah, so there is an FOV slider, it just doesn't allow you to get a much wider field of view than what I'm showing you right now. It's like 2 or 3 notches above what I'm currently playing at, I think.
Oh, hold up.
I'm blind. I look, and yet
Very well.
Yep, and they want me to look again. Which I will do. How big is the search area? It's not that big. He is suspiciously staring in that direction, but there's nothing going on there. I forgot what I'm looking for. This is the downside of skipping dialogue. He probably told me exactly what I need to look for, and I'm just like, yeah, it's fine, I know what I'm doing. Just leave me alone. Let me see. So the search area stops right about... Oh, no, never mind. This is where I need to go, because I need to follow the tracks. There we go. Love the idea of this game, but the first one was so hard to get into and I sucked at combat. Any tips? I think...
I found the
I
blacksmith's
played the
cart.
first one, not as much as the
Come
second
here.
one. I think the second one is easier to get into. Because the combat in the first one felt kind of finicky. Because instead of what we have now, where you can swing from the left, right, top, or stab, you could swing from the top, top left, top right, bottom right, and then you could stab. And that made fiddling with the analog stick to get the proper hits in. Made it feel a bit clunkier. This is much more clear, so it makes combos easier, it makes countering easier. I really like how they changed the Master Strike. Instead of being dependent on you perfectly blocking something. And the Master Strike is a really important technique in combat that makes it like a lot easier.
I told you. They got ambushed by them bastards that's on the
The
rampage
thing is,
round here,
if you... In the first game, it was reliant on how well you timed your block, and I think even that was like a chance it would trigger, whereas now, you can trigger it guaranteed after you've unlocked the skill, of course, which will be... We're working on a video showcasing how to do that right now. You can get it pretty early. But you do it by attacking an opponent from the opposite side. So if they swing from the left, you wait for them to attack, and then you swing from the right, and then you'll do like a move where you both damage them and parry their attack. And once you start mastering that, combat becomes really fun and a lot easier, because a Master Strike is guaranteed damage, whereas even if you do like a block into a riposte, they can still block your attack, and it's like an endless chain of back and forth of block and strike and block and strike.
You'd sing a different tune if you'd had the rope
So,
maker's wife
as with everything in this game, you need to meet it on its terms. You definitely need to give it some time. But I feel like the combat in this one is much more satisfying to get into than the first one, because it's more accessible in the beginning. Obviously, there's still a ton of depth and combos to learn and different weapons to master. But they ease you into it more, and it's less finicky when it comes to picking the direction of your swings. Yeah, and as silly as it sounds, just read the tutorials. I think I said this as well in the preview, but I feel like we've gotten kind of allergic to reading tutorials, because we're like, I know what I'm doing. Don't tell me what to do, video game. But in this one, you kind of want to. There's some important information in there.
What do we do now?
Okay, so we are ambushing the bandits right now.
I used to clamber around here as a young lad. The girls from Slatigo used to come make a fire here and jump over it. And so's their underwear wouldn't catch fire. Sometimes they'd take it off.
That's nice,
So
Gnarly, but I don't think it's
Get some
scandalous
random
that
lore
ladies will be
of
running
Gnarly
into
over here,
So
being a
what's that got
creepy
to do
pervert.
with anything?
Well,
All good.
there's a nice view into the gorge from up there.
But it does
We only have to
provide
go
us
back
with
a
some
bit.
valuable
We'll
info,
get
because we
there
can
most.
use that to
Right.
ambush them.
Henry, what are you waiting for? This is just the kind of
We're
thing
gonna
we
do that
took
with a
you along
crossbow.
for.
I'm afraid no we'll do it.
Sure, sir.
We aren't
Bet
scared of
there might be
anything.
some girls there too.
I could do without girls with voices like that. Now get going.
I absolutely recommend trying it, Punk, because if it does stick, like it did with me, I think you're really going to like it. Okay, so we just go and scout for now. I'm pretty sure we can come back and ask for his crossbow, and then we can shoot them from here, which is what I want to do. So you can see some of the ranged combat, which hitting someone is as difficult as it is hitting them with a sword.
You really saw that? I'm not kidding. Honza,
Those definitely
tell him
aren't
I'm
the
not having him
blacksmith's
on. You
hands.
saw
Yeah.
it too.
So we found some bandits, and we're gonna take care of them. So now we sneak back. You can actually do a lot with stealth as well, like you can get a dagger and then get behind someone and insta-kill them with like a quick time event. But for the people who know me, I have not tried a lot of stealth. I don't have the
How's it look,
patience for
Sonny?
it.
How many?
I saw 3. And they... I didn't
Let me
see-
get to the fight.
Isn't it?
Sure, it's
So,
what else?
Someone could...
good eye.
Alright, so...
Climb up.
What you
Yeah,
are.
so now we've received Gnarly's crossbow. So I want to equip that in my second weapon slot. And get the bolts as well. Now I want to make sure it's loaded before we go in. There we go. So now the crossbow is loaded. We go into sneak mode, and let's hope we can snipe one. But my archery skills are not terrific, so I might... I think that hit. Luckily, they're also occupied with the other gents fighting them. There we go.
There's more of them.
He's really not having it, is he? There we go. Killed him with the last shot. Now, you would say just jump down there, but I fear I might do something to my legs, so I'm just gonna take the nice way around and just walk. Feel like that's probably for the best.
Hey, Henry, get over here.
We can actually retrieve the bolts from him, which is nice.
Hold up, damn it.
Okay, I'll not leave you waiting. I'm sorry. I'm
What?
sorry.
Oh, this day took it out of me, and no mistake.
And it ain't over yet, sir. Your goods ain't here. And none of them bastards look like the blacksmith's hands. Am I right, Henry?
Hard to say. I've never actually seen them. But I don't think it was them.
Should have
Me
probably
neither.
led with that, but all good.
Right past that peak is another good camping spot.
You think this was a patrol?
It makes sense. But don't worry.
Yeah, well, you were...
I am.
So
Let's
there's
go.
a second location that we want to visit.
me back
And
my
he's-
crossbow.
he wants his
You
crossbow
weren't
back. We
thinking
don't
of
get to keep
keeping
it,
it, were ya?
unfortunately.
Of course. You did a good job.
I should bloody think so.
Only killed one dude, though. They killed the other two.
Thought we had everything clear, then, sir. You tried to fuck with me, so until we ride out, you're gonna stick right there and keep your mouth shut.
We did everything you asked. We got the blacksmith cart and the goods.
Horse shit. You tried to fuck me. That bastard cousin of yours owned up to it.
It was his idea. I wanted nothing to do with it.
Make no difference to me, Venser. You vouched for the crooked fucker. So
I
now,
want your
it's
armor,
on
sir.
You.
It looks good.
Actually, you could consider yourself lucky. If you hadn't saved my ass that time in Colleen, I'd have goat ear skin you alive.
Bastards. You can't trust anyone in these parts. Get ready, Gnarly. We are going to parley.
Was that an accidental rhyme or is that on purpose?
There was more of us that time, and less of them.
Oh, don't worry, there won't be a problem. They're just common thieves. Besides, I'll take young Henry with me.
What, me?
And if they're still feeling brave,
I do love how this is like evolved from I'm bored, I want to go help to look for some missing stable hands to yeah, we'll just take this kid along and we'll take on an entire group of bandits by myself.
Gentlemen, I'm
He is cool
obliged to
though.
you for
I
looking
like
after
Jan.
my goods,
Jan's a cool character.
But I'll take them back now. Just hand them over, and I'll let you go.
Oh, you must be from Samin.
Like he does not care.
Well, of course you can have everything back. Just as long as you ask nicely, eh? Well, how about we do things differently?
How about we don't?
You lay down your weapons, and we can all have a nice little chat. I mean, I don't intend to go murdering local lords. I just want your coin.
That's very noble of you, sir.
Goodbye, goat. You did not live up to your
What are
name.
you gaping at? At them!
So I do need to play a little bit careful here, because there's like 4 dudes that are gonna be coming at me. So I want Jan and Gnarly to do some of the work. I also think I still have my club equipped, not my sword, but that should be good. No, I don't want to. I want to get this. Yeah. Okay, you look weak enough. I can probably take you on. Boy, why don't I have my weapon out? There we go.
Nice hit.
So you'll see in combat now as well. Since I'm wearing, oh my god, that was terrible. Since I am using a blunt weapon, I don't have the option to stab anymore. Because stabbing with the blunt weapon doesn't generally do all that much. Can I switch back to my sword? I'm so accustomed to like using swords that I feel. Okay, glad I can still switch. No, I wanted to. Yeah, okay, I have it out now. There we go. Thanks for turning your back, bud. Now we do need to help Jan, because if Jan dies, that would be bad. I don't know if that can happen actually. And then there's the dude in heavy armor, but since it's now a 3v1, I don't think he's going to be doing too well.
You're no match for me.
I'm gonna taunt him because I'm silly. I love how upset they get during combat.
They got what they deserved, the fuckers. Henry! Hey, Henry!
Hello.
Are you listening?
Yeah.
Come here! Quiet.
There we go.
Well, now, one of them bastards
Is the
fled
combat
into
the same as
rocks.
1? It's
Chase him
similar,
down and bring
but
him
it
back.
feels a lot better.
Did you see what? No.
But they...
Oh, they were... And they...
I'll go.
Okay,
Right.
this is where I'm going to call this quest. Because I don't want to spoil the rest, and I've mostly did this because I knew there's going to be a cool piece of combat that I wanted to show you. So for now, I'm going to jump ahead to a later save. This one to be precise. And so there we have... I'm not going to show you much. I just want to show you the second map, or part of it. And, yeah, give you a tour through the city. Because the city looks a lot different to the rest of the countryside. So I just wanted to show you that. Should I get one or get this? If you want to get the full story, obviously play one first. If you want the better gameplay experience, you can try and watch a recap of the first one and then play this. But going into this completely blind, the game does explain some things at the start. From like the first game, but considering how the story and especially the bonds between the characters really make it that much more interesting, I would try and get that and play that too, because otherwise you're going to be missing that. I would get one, but it's still 30 FPS on PS5. Yeah, if you don't have the option to play it at like a higher frame rate on PC, again, I think Warhorse themselves reposted or like posted a story recap of like 10 minutes on their official channels, and if they think it's good enough, I feel like that should account for something. I'm gonna ignore you right now. How far away are we from... So as you can see, this is a completely different region from the one we were just in, and there is a massive capital city in the bottom here. I'm actually going to travel to here, and then we can ride into the city by horse. But yeah, this map is even bigger. And there is a convoy over here, which is basically where you start, that you can pay, and then you can go back to the first region. So if you have uncompleted quests there, if you want to go back for, I don't know, if there's a vendor there that has something that you want, you can totally do that. Wayfarer, ordinary man in plain clothes. We'll just continue on our way, because that's not what we're interested in right now. Oh, and I get to show you the best feature. The best feature of this game, which is something that KCD1 players will be familiar with. But there is a dog, and you can pet him. And there's an entire skill tree for the dog, and he is just the best. Mutt is awesome. I love him. Everybody loves him. I'd also like to show you... In fact, am I... Yeah, I'm wearing a bit better armor now. And even in this regard, the realism is through the roof. Again, this is something that was in the first game, but if you wear a helmet with like a bassinet, I think is what it's called, you can put that on during combat, which will limit your vision and limit your stamina regeneration because it's harder to breathe, but you will better protect your head against damage, so it's like a trade-off. But the fact that they actually turned the front plate of the helmet into a gameplay mechanic is so cool. So I am actually... Can the horse stop? No, I need to get off. I would like it to stop raining. If we just wait an hour, will the rain be gone? RDR2 like immersion. Yeah, that's what I've been saying. It's like... It has some strange... Well, at least the weather's better. I'll take it. It has some strange similarities to Red Dead 2. And I feel like that's mostly because of how immersive it is. And then, I mean, you're just casually riding on these roads, just looking at the greens, and then suddenly in the distance, there's suddenly a pretty big city. And like, this is fully explorable. And there are many like shops inside some of the different buildings as well. There's a huge marketplace where you can find tons of different vendors. Does the rain affect you? I do not think so. There might be something in hardcore mode, but again, that's not out yet. But I don't think the rain affects you. The things that affect you are stuff like hunger. So you can get famished or you can overeat. Getting drunk. Injuries of a more permanent nature, like bruises or sprains might impact your stats. And a huge thing that impacts your stats is the way you look, as there is a stat called Charisma that improves when you wear like more noble looking clothing or like rings. Rings are like a really good way to up your charisma really quickly, because it's like people see your ring and they're like, oh, that guy is rich. And that will help you to get success with specific dialogue options. Like I was pointing towards a one earlier that was domination. So domination is like you are a noble and you are making use of your social status to push down on someone. So it's like, oh, you'll do this for me because I am more important than you. That might not necessarily be true, but as long as you're wearing the clothing that makes them believe that you are, you know, more well-off than they are, they will respond to that. And they will be like, okay, I don't know which noble you are, but clearly you are of nobility, so I have to listen. And so you can kind of... You can use rich clothes to, like, bluff your way through things, which is... I would also recommend keeping a suit of armor for backup in case something does go wrong. But you can do that. Oh.
Easy, good horse.
I wanted to show you the marketplace. Yeah, there we are. Well, at least this is part of it. Older setting of this vibe in Assassin's Creed 4 would be legendary. Like, this is pretty much where classic AC started. I think the Crusades were a bit earlier. It's like early Middle Ages or mid-Middle Ages. Oh, you can get a call? Okay. Well, I've just been taking good care of my boy then. But yeah, as you can see, the city is pretty big. And there's a lot. There really is a lot. And there are many people around as well. And you can hire a spot at the inn to sleep there if you want. You can play dice with people. You can get drunk with people. I've woken up, walked outside, and saw two random dudes just having a fist fight. That's a thing that happens. But yeah, as you can see, it's a pretty big and very, very atmospheric medieval city. So here you have like more things like grocery stands. Always look at the grape texture quality. These are good grapes. Yeah, so that's like AC1 is early Middle Ages, this is late Middle Ages. But it's set in roughly the same historical period.
It happens. Just watch where you're going next.
So, do you have anything? Can I steal anything from you? Because I just want to upset the guards and see what happens if I get into a fight here. Or I can just, you know, try and hit someone regardless, because that will upset the guards. So I want to show you the cool combat trick I was talking about. I'll just pull up my sword here, because they're not gonna like that. I have to have the dog attack the guard, because why not? Oh. This man's pretty quick. What the hell? Okay. I can't show you the cool trick, because he's beating my ass. Oh, there's an... Oh, okay, there's a second guard hitting him as well. That might help explain why I'm having a hard time. There we go. See, so I attacked from the opposite side that he's holding his weapon. It's kind of hard to tell what side these guys are holding their weapon from. But if you do that correctly, you will both attack and counter them at the same time. Although I have chosen my target poorly, because I don't know how the hell this weapon works. Well, their weapon, I should say. I know how my longsword works. Nope. That was definitely not it. Oh, he has a weapon I can counter. It's just I need him to attack me and him alone. No, I'm dead. I am so dead. Oh, there was another one for you. Yeah, come on, hit me. No, that was the other dude hitting me. I don't want you to hit me. Oh, well. This would be an awesome VR game. Oh, totally. Yeah. I feel like that would also take an insane amount of work, but I can absolutely see that. But yeah, anyway, that was a bit of a showcase as to what you can expect once you get a little bit later into the game. And also to showcase you that if you do get caught being a criminal, the guards are pretty scary. So don't do that. But yeah, this was the stream for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, or the video on the month. Because it will be up as video on the month later on the channel. Again, thank you to PlayOn for the early code, which is why I was able to show that later part of the game, because I have been playing by myself already. I just showed you some early game stuff because I didn't want to spoil anything. And yeah, in case you're wondering, is this game something for you? We have a preview up on the channel. We have some tips channels for if you're actually going to be playing the game. But the short rundown is, it does take some work to get into. It's definitely not a game for everyone, which I don't think is a bad thing, but it's not something that's immediately accessible. You have to put in some work. Once you do, and if it sticks, there is nothing quite like it. And again, especially the story has been super engaging. Every side activity, every skill feels like there's so much depth to it and so much stuff that you can learn. And yeah, the characters have all been great, so they really keep the story going as well. How hard is the combat? There is a combat trick that you can unlock, which was what I was just trying to show you, but because I'm bad at fighting people with spears, it didn't really go according to plan. But we'll have a video up on the channel soon, which also covers that. But once you unlock that, you open up a ton more options, and I feel like that was the point where the combat really started clicking for me. And like you can already get that like 3 to 4 hours into the game if you just rush straight to that. So give it a couple hours to get used to it, and after that there are some challenging fights, but I feel like the combat in general is something that you will get good at, and then it won't be super challenging anymore. Unless you get really outmatched and like outnumbered and stuff like that. But yeah, I have been having a ton of fun with the game. There's also a lot of content. Again, I want to stress that I've been playing for 50 hours, have not finished the main story, and by far have not completed all the side content, so there is a ton to do. It's a beautiful open world. There are 2 beautiful maps you can explore, and both the side content and the main content have been really excellent. So if you are somewhat interested, I highly recommend you give it a try. But again, it isn't for everyone. So if you bounce off it and you're like, hey, maybe this is not my thing, I can totally see why to. For me though, I definitely want to play more of this. So I hope I'll have the time for that in the future. Anyway, thank you so much for watching the stream. Hope you will enjoy it. Thank you for the mods for joining us and keeping chat nice, happy, and safe. And I hope to see you all again in another stream. Of course, subscribe to the channel for more videos on Kingdom Come and other big upcoming RPGs. Jordan will be back soon, so if you're wondering who the hell I was and are very confused, don't worry. Jordan will be back very soon, so you don't have to worry about that anymore either. And yeah, again, I hope to see you all again.